Welcome back to Chakra Free Radio. I'm Gopal.
And I'm Ray.
We're delighted to have you join us for this episode titled The Difficulty of Attaining Stillness.
Mm-hmm.
So just to give our audience a little bit of a feel for how this episode is going to go, the first half or so, we're going to be talking about how stillness or mental quietude is a topic that comes up repeatedly across a wide array of religious traditions. And it's something that I think a lot of us aspire to, but maybe have difficulty, trying to actually reach in our daily life. So the episode is going to be structured first half more on the religious traditional aspect of it. And then the second half is going to be focused on how we can kind of implement it from a practical standpoint in our day-to-day lives. So first order of business, our prior episode, Ray was wearing a Yankees hat.
Yeah, I mean, guilty.
Yeah, today he's in Red Sox.
Yeah. I mean, I wear a Yankees hat occasionally. I got a friend from New York that has a brand, so I usually will wear his stuff. And yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I'm not a fashionista guy, but I enjoy fashion. I like to dabble a little bit in simple pieces.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you were telling me how you were like confronted the last time.
Yeah, I was wearing that same hat like 3 weeks prior, and some guy literally waited until I got off the train with my wife and said he was just like, "Oh, and by the way, F the Yankees." And I'm just like, "Yeah, I'm a Red Sox fan, guy." And he said, why are you wearing that? And I'm like, it's my friend's brand and I'm just supporting or whatever.
Yeah. Well, it is funny how worked up people get about this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I used to get worked up when I was younger, but you come to just realize that these guys aren't paying your bills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The team will not take a bullet for you. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I love them. I grew up watching them since I was like 4 or 5, but at the end of the day, like, would I wear the Yankee hat to a Red Sox game? No. No.
Yeah, you might have.
If I'm in Yankee Stadium, am I wearing my Red Sox hat? Yes.
Oh, are you? Have you done that?
No, I haven't. I haven't done that. But when I've been in New York, I wear my Red Sox hat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't shy away from doing that stuff.
Yeah.
But
well, listen, part of what we're trying to do with this show is break down some of these barriers we put around one another. So
yeah, I mean, I think people need to like stop taking sports so serious and just like relax a little bit.
Yeah. We're talking. It's we're trying to attain mental quiet. Sometimes being a sports fan gets in the way of that.
Yeah. I mean, ever since Tom Brady left, like it's been a lot of quietness for me.
So just to start off, Ray, what's your reaction to this episode's title?
I mean, I enjoy a good calming session.
Yeah.
Like you know what I like to do for my calming sessions. Go by water.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Be in there and just zone out.
Yeah. Well, it's a funny thing, we're talking about the difficulty of attaining stillness and that it's maybe an important thing to move towards. There's a lot of people for whom just sitting still is like a form of torture.
Yeah. I know a couple, yeah.
Yeah. So there's people where it's just like just their natural tendency is to just be very, very restless and kind of, moving from place to place. So, there's an aspect of human existence where, there's an element of us that's opposed to trying to be still.
I think even with those people, they have their stillness somewhere.
Yeah.
They're just not showing it to the world.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, at least I hope, but I think everybody has their own quietness. I mean, for a lot of the, those people that are always restless, gaming is that quietness for them.
Yeah.
Like it may not be quiet like while they're playing, but like that's their sanctuary, you know what I mean? That's where they go to for it probably.
Right. Because they're able to shut down their active part of their mind and they're just playing instinctually or, yeah. All right. So we're going to jump into some comments from the world's various religious traditions on this topic of stillness. So first off, we're going to start off with this one is one that hopefully a lot of you have heard and are aware of. This is from the book of Psalms, Psalm 46:10. Be still and know that I am God. Now, important to note here, the book of Psalms is there in both the Jewish Torah and the Old Testament of the Christian Bible. So for both Judaism and Christianity, we get some sense that this topic of stillness is of importance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ray, what's your reaction to that quote?
Basically, like, God got the wheel, basically.
Say that again?
Like, God got the wheel.
God got the wheel.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can just relax. I got this.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's, again, important concept here. We're going to actually return to that quote a little bit later. Next up, and this one's from Buddhism. So this is from a text called the Dhammapada, which is a collection of Buddha's sayings, considered one of the more important texts in Buddhism. And it's a text that's used widely across the different schools of Buddhism. So this one is verse 25.9. Okay. The practitioner who lives in love and kindness, who walks the way of Buddha, will find stillness, subdue the phantoms of creation, and attain bliss. Now, this one's an interesting one because what Buddha is saying in this text is that by attaining stillness, we can actually attain bliss.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is something that comes up also in Hindu philosophy and yogic philosophy, is that when the mind is at its complete point of silence, there's actually an incredibly blissful feeling that emerges. So, I think, again, we all have this idea that just being still is maybe a little bit of a form of torture. These traditions are saying that there's actually a very, very great prize and reward at the end of it if you're able to accomplish it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Ray, any more thoughts on that one? Or
no, that one has a lot of pieces to it.
Yeah. So next up in Hinduism, so the theme of stillness comes up frequently in both Hindu philosophy as well as yogic philosophy. Some people would make distinctions between the two, but for our purposes, we'll kind of treat them as one for this episode. So this one is from there's a text called the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali.
Mm.
Now, Sage Patanjali, widely credited with having systematized a lot of the rules around yoga and compiled it into a text called the Yoga Sutras. And so this is the second line of the Yoga Sutras, which was in Sanskrit, different language, which I don't speak, so I'm just going to give a loose English translation.
Yeah.
Okay. Yoga is the stilling of the mind's fluctuations. Or other translations, yoga is the stilling of the mind's chatter.
So yoga, the actual doing of the yoga.
Yeah. So the physical postures, what it's really supposed to help you get towards is mental stillness.
Okay.
And so I think, and we're actually going to deal with this particular topic in a different episode, in a dedicated fashion. But so again, yoga is defined as the stilling of the mind's chatter.
I can see that.
Yeah. So again, now we have Judaism, Christianity, Buddhism, Hinduism, all referring to stillness. Now, in Islam, the Quran, at least the English translations I've looked through, doesn't explicitly refer to stillness, but there are a lot of verses that reference the need for quiet contemplation, especially as regards to God or Allah.
Mm-hmm.
To take time, especially to take time to pray in a way where you withdraw your mind from day-to-day worldly responsibilities. There's one particular chapter 73 of the Quran, which is very, very explicit about this. So again, we find across all of these traditions, this theme of stillness is there, and the need to move from this kind of constant oversaturation with mental thoughts towards a quieter state of mind. Now, maybe the question is why?
Why you need to be still?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you can attain. I mean, it's hard to attain stillness every single day.
Yeah.
But I think, here and there, you know what I mean? As long as I've experienced it a couple times or whatever, but as long as you know that you can get there eventually.
Right.
That you know that all the worries, all the worries, desires, everything, you just put that to the side for those however seconds, minutes,
right,
an hour, whatever it is.
Right. Yeah. And so in yogic theory, this is discussed in terms of the why. Why is stillness desired? And at least according to yogic theory, what happens is when the mind is settled, when the energies within the human body that are normally scattered in all kinds of outward directions, whether it's work or recreation or whatever, when the mental energy is quieted and when all that energy is focused on the interior consciousness, there may be actual changes to your psyche and your physical body that occur if you're able to sustain that stillness for an extended period of time. Changes that would actually help essentially unlock latent potentials within human consciousness. Right now, again, the theory is that these abilities are there within every human being, and with certain practices, and especially by moving towards stillness, you can activate or open up higher levels of consciousness.
Yeah.
Right. So this is the theory about maybe perhaps why it's desirable to want to move this direction.
Question.
Yeah.
Do we count stillness as peace too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I don't think you can be still unless you're at peace, right? If you're not at peace, what kind of stillness is it?
Okay.
So, I think it's worth talking about. I mean, I think there's this, even though we run around in very frantic lives sometimes, I think we all feel like we want that state of peace and calmness, right?
Yeah. I think everybody has their own vice on how they get it, though.
Yeah. So an interesting aspect of this, like every human being, okay, when they go to sleep at night, when they're in the state of deep sleep, you're in a state of peace, calmness, right?
Yeah.
So there seems to be it's even hardwired into the biology of the human being that at least some portion of the day they've got to be completely still, right?
Yeah.
Now, we see people oftentimes are just so desperate to still their mind that a lot of times they turn to, kind of negative outlets. And we say that without judgment, but, whether it's alcohol, drugs, I think there's some people who their mind is just, whether it's from trauma or whether it's from just, too much stuff going on in their life, they feel like the only way they can get some peace and quiet is to have a drink or, whatever, smoke up or, and again, no judgment. I've been there, done that. So, but I think, again, it speaks to how much humans crave that.
Yeah. I mean, I used to get in a little dabble of the alcohol. It wouldn't like make me still, but it would give me confidence.
Yeah. I think it's, people do all kinds of stuff,
but
right?
I've seen it for people who try to because they can't be alone with themselves too long.
Right.
They go to alcohol.
Yeah.
And they don't want to face what's up here, so they rather just drink.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's hard to face a lot of what's going on in the interior chatter.
I would say therapy. we all go therapy. We all go through therapy. Trust me. You know what I mean? I think that's a big important piece of just adulthood.
Right.
Is that almost every adult should have a therapist or somebody that they can confide.
I think
their deepest. You know what I mean? They're the deepest things about them.
Right.
With no judgment.
Right. I think that's, which is very hard to find.
Yeah.
Right.
I got a couple people.
Yeah. You're lucky. It's a lot of people don't have anyone.
I got my best friend. I go to you sometimes. And then now I go to my wife.
Yeah.
No judgment.
So we want to turn back to one of the quotes we mentioned. So Psalm 46:10. We want to talk about it in reference to a specific person, a person named Ramana Maharshi, who was an Indian, within India, widely acknowledged as somebody who'd attained the highest of spiritual potential within the human body. And he was a person who lived in the 20th century, so not that long ago from where we are today. So Ramana Maharshi is an interesting case because he was born and brought up in a traditional Indian Brahmin family, so he would have studied Hindu scriptures and traditions. But then he attended a Christian school for his primary schooling. Mm. And he read the Bible a lot. And he went through some very, very intense spiritual experiences, which we'll touch on a little bit. But in later years, one of So Ramana Maharshi very rarely spoke.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but one of his frequent quotes was Psalm 46:10. Be still and know that I am God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, it's interesting because he's Hindu. He's from a Hindu background. He has all that tradition. Yet this is one of the quotes he came back to again and again. So I think a lot of times we put up these barriers around different religions. Ramana Maharshi was somebody who just didn't view things that way. Now, it's interesting to note. Okay, Ramana Maharshi. Well, what did stillness mean to him? So when he was younger, he went through some very, very intense spiritual experiences.
Yeah. And
he had traveled to the south of India and was meditating in a cave beneath a temple, in an intensely deep state of meditation. His state of meditation was so deep that when people found him, somebody actually went down to the cave and finally brought him out. It turns out that Ramana Maharshi, in his state of meditation, had been repeatedly bitten by scorpions.
Jeez.
And hadn't moved, hadn't woken up from his meditative state. Now, I mean, we're mere mortals here, but imagine that level of stillness, that level of concentration where being bitten by scorpions, you don't move.
Couldn't be me.
Yeah, it couldn't be me either, yeah. Right? So when Ramana Maharshi is saying, be still and know that I'm God, he's serious about it,
yeah.
So it's just it's kind of an interesting thought just to have in mind here about maybe what the real potential of the human being is in a state of intense concentration.
Yeah, but I think a lot of those figures, those people, they've released themselves from everything though.
Yeah, they don't have to worry about paying rent, paying for groceries.
It's hard.
Yeah, I think it's hard for us, and I think people living a normal life, it's very hard to
like I said, if you can at least achieve it for 30 seconds, you've done something.
Yeah.
Like my little stillness, episodes were whenever I'm around water and I'm able to veer off for a little bit.
Yeah.
And separate from my friends and just be out there relaxing.
Yeah. Well, I think you told me about what was something about a pool.
Yeah, I went for my 30th birthday. I went to Puerto Rico, and as you know, in the Caribbean, a storm could just pass by. It could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 45 minutes. It literally will show that it's sunny and then bam. But yeah, so I was just in the pool and then out there by myself, and then it just started downpouring. Chairs going everywhere. And I'm just literally just laid out like a starfish on the water, in the pool, and then the rain is just pounding. And I'm just there just for an hour and a half, just relaxing, chilling, nothing on my mind.
Yeah.
I'm turning a new leaf, going into, real adulthood, I guess. 30 years old. And then, no worries.
Right. Yeah, I think this is the thing. I think this ability to attain stillness is there in every human being.
Yeah.
But and now we get to the practical aspect of the episode, which is it's really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, it's like an endless series of nonsense that kind of comes up in your mind. I mean, I don't know, what gets in the way of your stillness?
Work.
Yeah.
Work.
There's the obvious
work.
one.
I mean, just, day-to-day things. I mean, it could be anything. It could be any struggle. I wouldn't say I'm burdened by anything every single day, but it's hard to shut off almost every single day.
Yeah.
Because always, I'm always being texted or called. Or emailed.
Yeah. So this is, I mean, it's worth thinking about, right? Work 100, 200 years ago was very, very different, right? Maybe you're working in the fields, or, you maybe had a manual labor job, but when the work day was done, it was done.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now it's you come home and it's there's text messages, email messages, work specific,
mm-hmm.
That's still hitting you. It could be 9:00 at night and you're still getting work messages. Right.
You know what's a good stillness thing? And it's not that long, right? A haircut. No, I'm
Yeah,
so
it's true.
serious.
Yeah.
Like you may not be like scared about like or like you may not like be able to pass all your worries off, but like you're there for 15 to 20
Yeah, yeah,
minutes
yeah.
and like you can't go nowhere.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And yesterday my phone was blowing up like literally from work
Yeah,
while I'm getting my hair cut.
right.
And I'm just like, dude, come on.
So, can I ask, like, so when you get a haircut, do you talk to the barber or are you just a silent?
My main barber, yeah, I talked to him.
Yeah.
But I talked to him like in the beginning and then like he like goes into his moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he goes and he literally has an AirPod on and he's like watching anime.
Yeah.
Like while doing my hair. And I just let him do what he gotta do. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
I've
yeah.
trusted him with my life for like 7-8 years. Might as well keep it going now.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I find it like I'm usually silent, you
Yeah.
know, but I'd say now I'm comfortable being silent. Like 20 years ago, I always felt like I was like, I should
Yeah.
talk to the person, you know?
Yeah. I mean, if he wants to talk, he'll talk to me.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just there for this hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you agree with that? Like kind of like when you're in that chair, you kind of like
It's a tiny piece. Yeah. I think it's
Yeah.
like, you know, again, it's like you're just sitting there. If your mind is not, you know, obsessed with like, if you're sitting there on the barber chair and you're thinking about like whatever, you've got $1,000 on some game tonight, then it's not stillness, right?
oh, that's sick.
Right. 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 So, yeah. And then, you know, and there's so many other ways in which our lives, you know, like it's just hard to get peace and quiet sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, you're getting text messages from friends, relatives, you know, calls from, I mean, it's like a constant stream of input. Now, some of this is maybe self-inflicted. I don't know. You don't always have to pick up the phone and respond to it, but I don't know. But it seems like if, you know, a lot of people, if they send you a message and you don't respond, they get angry about it.
Yeah. People would be like, if you cared, you'd answer.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. On the other side, I don't know if they ever think about, you know, if I cared about the other person's mental peace, maybe I wouldn't send a text.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And then people get so worked up nowadays.
Yeah.
It's about like little things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. We haven't even talked about social media. I mean, it's like
social media is a sin.
Wait, why do you say that? I think it's got some negative impacts, but I'm curious about
I mean, the only reason why I keep it now is just like for brand purpose.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
I mean, I love TikTok though. Like,
right. Because
I'm not gonna lie, like social media is like a sin, but like TikTok, I learned how to do the craziest recipes on there.
Right.
Like cooking, like the health, like you know what I mean? Like I'm learning like to cook better and like to try new things, like make like keto bagels and like cottage cheese pizza, like you know what I mean with my wife. Like it's fire. And then also like, you know, I get the occasional like, you know, dumb things on TikTok, but
yeah, but you know, I guess I mean maybe you have a healthy usage. I think there's a lot of people who have an unhealthy usage of it. You know, where I think especially you're getting so many images of maybe the life you think you should have or the vacations you should be taking.
I mean, with that for me, like when I see people go on vacations, I'm like, I'm gonna attain that eventually.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't really like be like that's what I should be doing. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I'm more like, you know what I mean? Like, eventually I'll get there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, like what else? I mean, there's so many other ways that this.
I think a lot of people look for likes.
Yeah.
Like they are like crazy. Like I'll be like, dude, just go on about your day. Like you don't need 10,000 likes.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like.
Right. Yeah. Whether it really means anything. I mean, obviously it feels good for people, but
yeah,
does it really mean as much as we perhaps make it out to be? I don't know.
I mean,
but you know, I mean, we have to acknowledge that anyone watching the show at some level, we're distracting them from stillness.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, hopefully for a good purpose. I mean, but
just to hear us talking.
Yeah.
I mean, but people use podcasts as a way to clear their mind a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get information. Maybe that might be their stillness, even though they're hearing us talk. Maybe our voices soothe them. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so they get to that point. It's kind of like sounds to go to sleep. Like when people put on sounds.
Oh yeah, like white noise machines,
Yeah,
or
like
yeah.
my wife will literally like listen to sounds.
Right.
Like she'll put her headphones in, listen to sounds, or listen to like a scary podcast. I was like, what?
Right. Right. Does she sleep like normally?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's like when she can't sleep, that's what she results to.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, yeah. Any other thoughts or?
No.
I think it's worth mentioning. I think when we think about stillness in the context of religion or spirituality, a lot of times it's about you sit quietly in a meditative posture, and you're supposed to just sit there. I think it's possible for humans to find some level of stillness in their day-to-day activities too.
Yeah.
If you're in a state of flow or whatever it is. I think some people, when they're painting or listening to music, their mind may be so absorbed in what they're doing that active chatter kind of gets, the volume knob gets turned down.
Yeah, for sure. Or if they're lifting weights, you know what I mean? A lot.
Yes, I would never be able to be still by lifting weights.
Really?
But yeah, I mean, I can picture others.
I've seen people just in there zoning out.
Right.
I've seen people I've zoned out in the sauna before.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, sauna, you're sitting there, right? But
yeah,
weightlifting's a different.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's stillness in anything that somebody wants to quiet the chatter with.
Right.
You know what I mean? It just depends if they want to do it or not.
Right.
But
right. No, there's a very famous, beloved saint in India, Saint Kabir, who was a weaver. And again was widely, considered to have attained very, very high spiritual level. But his day job was a weaver, and he was able to be a weaver, and he was able to, still find stillness within his life, even while being a weaver.
Mm.
Right. So, I don't know. I think we live in a world where it's like, I feel like everything is trying to get us out of stillness. I think it's like a strange thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think so. It just can go both ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know the type of people that can attain the stillness, and then obviously the opposite of people who are not really like looking forward to it at all.
Right. So I don't know. I'm curious about So one thing I've noticed for myself is I used to just consume a lot of media before going to bed. I think in the last couple of years, I've made a very concerted effort to kind of turn off the phone at least 1 to 2 hours before bed. I think it's made a huge difference, and just having a few minutes to sit quietly before going to sleep. I feel like my night's rest is much more restful, and like I don't need to sleep as long and yet still feel refreshed. So I don't know, like what's your pre-bedtime routine?
A lot of TikTok.
Does that put you in a good state of mind, or you're just like?
Depends how I end it.
Yeah.
If I end it on like like a cooking video,
yeah,
or like a relationship like video,
yeah,
I'm like good. But if I end it on like a horrible like horror video, I start having like bad dreams and stuff. But
yeah. Well, this is something, we don't really think about as much. I think we're all so saturated with media in our day-to-day life that we don't maybe realize how much of it gets dumped into our subconscious.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's even simple things for me. Like I like playing Madden online. I'll play a couple games against somebody, and it's like either I win, and then I'm like, oh, nice, good, good for me, or I lose, and then I feel like, I'll be sitting there replaying in my mind, I shouldn't have blitzed then. I should have,
yeah,
whatever.
I can't end on a loss though.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Is that So I like to. For me, when I meditate, I feel like the best time for me to meditate is like 11 o'clock at night. into midnight because things are quiet and there's not a lot of distractions. But
I was about to ask you, like, what time do you usually go to bed?
I'm a late sleeper, like usually 12:30 or something.
Really?
Yeah.
What time do you usually wake up?
7:30.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
So you're a steady like 7 hours.
Yeah. But so maybe I'll start playing Madden at like 10 o'clock or 9:30 or something, right? I play a couple games. I don't win either of them, right? So I'm in a bad mood, right? So I play again, hoping I'm gonna redeem myself a little bit or whatever. And it's like if you sit down to meditate, it really messes the whole thing up.
Yeah.
Because I'm still in my mind, I'm still
thinking about those mistakes.
I'm still jamming buttons in my mind, right? And so I'm trying to quiet my mind and attain stillness and meditation, but because of the prior activities of just a few minutes ago, it messes the whole thing up, And so I think all of us have to be cognizant and aware of the we think about the food that goes into our body. I think we don't really think as much about the media that goes into our brain, And I think to the extent that someone wants to move towards stillness, I think they should think about maybe regulating some of that content coming in.
I agree. Do you consider reading stillness?
I think it can be depending on the text. I think especially if it's something that's more spiritual related or I think those can help quiet the mind. But if it's like, I don't know,
48 Laws of Power. If I'm reading 48 Laws of Power, am I in stillness?
Well, probably not, right?
Yeah.
Like if like you're reading like a Tom Clancy thriller or whatever, right? Like Gone Girl. Like it's a great book, but it's like
you're thinking,
right?
Yeah.
It's not really putting you into a quiet state. It's entertainment.
What about The Art of War?
I don't know. Haven't read it. Have you read it?
You haven't read The Art of War?
No.
Damn.
I've read bits and pieces of it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I ever fully finished it because I think I got to a point where I was like 70 pages in, and I'm like, dude, this is just like a lot of this is just like basic like war stuff.
Yeah.
Like he was talking about like surprising the enemy. I was like, yeah, you guys don't have any technology. Like they're gonna be surprised if you show up at 3 a.m. in the morning and they're planning and their birds told them that you were coming 2 days later. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're gonna be surprised.
Yeah.
But there was some other good things in the book too. You should read it.
Yeah.
But I think that's where I stopped. I was like, all right, okay, I get it.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, anything else? I mean,
no. That pretty much covers it.
Yeah.
I think the end all be all, stillness is what you want and what you want it to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As long as you can block out all the social media, the chatters of family, of your wife, your husband, all that stuff, and just whether it's 30 seconds or 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It matters.
Yeah. Well, it's time for our minute.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah.
So again, minute of unconditional love to all beings and all points of space and time. Forgot to mention this the last episode, but it's just Ray and I doing this. But I think our earnest hope is that anybody out there watching will join us. It's just two people doing it. It's one thing, but if there's others joining us, I think it becomes a much more powerful signal. So, So you ready to do it?
Yes, sir. I never, when I close my eyes for that, I'm always thinking that, like, damn, I wake up, like, when I open them again, I'm like, still more? I felt like that was a minute.
Yeah.
You never really know how long a minute is until, like, you get something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, time is a relative, it's a very, very perceptual thing. A minute can feel like an eternity or, vice versa,
Yeah.
you know.
I feel like a minute's so quick, like whenever you see it on a clock.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Something about the
sands of time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, Ray, any last words?
Nah, nothing for me.
Yeah. Well, we'd like to thank all of you for joining us.
Thank you guys. We appreciate you.
Yeah. And until next time, this is Chakra Free Radio signing off.